Hello and welcome back to Paul's Beer Reviews. Hope you're doing well. As you've probably guessed by the title of the video and the thumbnail, we're doing a bit of a Heineken comparison today. I'm going to be comparing Heineken in the can against Heineken in the bottle against Heineken from the Torp. So the first thing I've got to do is I've got to load this Torp into the Krups Sub. So that's what's going to be coming up next. So yeah, bear with me, and that'll be the thing you see next. Yep. Right, so next step, loading up the Torp into the Krups Sub. Some of you guys probably would have seen these by now, the tubs, but you get these, bit of fill around the edge, you get out of the way, lid on top, take the lid off. Inside the lid, you get a fresh line for every Torp of beer, which is very handy. Quite simple, this just pushes into the top of your Torp, like that. Open up your sub and you load it in from the bottom towards the back of the machine and take off your pump. It's not supposed to go off like that. Take off. There we go, like that. And what you do, you push this in place. It should make a bit of a noise, like so. There it is. That's that loading up. Push this down into its spout, wait for the click, and you're in place. You then put your tap back on, like so, push, and now I've got to do is wait for this red light here to go to green, and when it goes to green, we're ready for serving. And we are back. Beer machine has gone green. That was really quick. It's probably the quickest it's ever done it. To be fair, the Torp was really chilled, which is recommended before it goes in the machine. I do recommend getting the Torp nice and cold. It was in there for about 20 minutes. Light is green, we're good to go. I've run a bit of beer through the line, which is recommended also. Put it in a little glass. I've rinsed this one. So we're now going to try and pour a pint of Heineken. We'll see how well this goes. So here we go. At the moment we've pretty much got a pint of foam. That is slowly going to work its way down, and when it does, believe me it will gradually catch up with it, and we might do a top up, and then I'm going to compare this version of the Heineken against the can and the bottle, so stick around. And welcome back. I've got my pint of Heineken from the Krups Subs, so I'm going to put this over here, so for your reference the Subs version is on the left hand side. Then we're going to crack open this Heineken can. This is a 500ml can that I picked up at my local off licence, and what I say, it's also the 5% ABV. So get it all in there. Jubbly. So, can in the middle, the Krups version to the left, and then the last one, the bottle. Let's see what this one's going to be like. 330ml bottle, again, 5% ABV. I'll tell you what, straight away, as soon as you crack that green bottle, got that skunky, that slight skunky aroma. That's why I don't like beer out of green bottles much. So yeah, so we now got all three of the beers, and let's start off. We'll compare. Clean as a whistle. This is the Sub version. Clean as a whistle, this one, as you'd expect. Really, really gentle to almost no carbonation, really, rushing up that. But what you might see is the lacing on the glass and the head that eventually died down, and I gave a bit of a top up. The quality is there. Lacing on the glass looks fantastic. Here is the can version. You're not really getting any of that. Very, very minimal glazing on the glass there. Again, it's clean as a whistle, really gentle carbonation rushing up that one. I can't help but think in this light that the beer from the Sub looks slightly darker, ever so slightly darker than the stuff in the can. Not sure what you'll get in there. And here is the bottled version. I cannot get away from that skunkiness straight away. I mean, they look roughly the same. Getting a bit more carbonation rising up from the bottled version, definitely. Again, no real head to speak of. Minimal lacing on the glass on this one. So what we're going to do, I'm going to start off by having a swig of the bottled version. Okay, so here's the Heineken bottled version. Here we go. Cheers. Quite heavy carbonation. Really light citrus sweetness to it. It's got that standard barley malt finish. Tiniest bit of bitterness at the end of it. It's bog standard. There's your bottled version. Now we're going to go for the canned version. So let me clean my palate a little bit. Even less aroma on this one. I feel like I can get more bitterness on this one. A bit more of a bitterness on the canned version. Aroma is pretty much non-existent. Getting really very little on the nose. Subtle barley malt flavour, subtle citrus, and a little bit of bitterness at the back end. And then this is the interesting one. This is the stuff from the Sub. This is the Torp version. This is the Dutch version. This is the Dutch Heineken. This has kind of kept a bit of head. It's getting aroma. Again, very subtle. Subtle aroma. Tiniest bit of barley malt aroma going on with it. But it's all in the flavour. Let's get stuck in. Goodness me. Straight away, the mouthfeel is completely different. Completely different. It's substantial. It's thicker. It's smooth. It's much more drinkable. And it's got subtle citrus fragrance, flavour coming through. There's a gentle hoppy bitterness at the back end to it. There's a nice sort of bready malt character mid palate as well. You could just taste the difference in quality straight away. Straight away. The first thing is just that mouthfeel. So once again, the bottle. It's the aroma. As soon as you kind of lift it, the aroma you get from a Heineken in the bottle just isn't right. Thin, really carbonated, quite fizzy that one. There's a sweetness to it that doesn't taste very natural. Canned version, so minimal aroma. Again, really carbonated, really quite fizzy, quite gassy. Excuse me, there it is. Really carbonated, bit more of a bitterness at the back end to the canned version I'm getting. And then this is just a complete. Creamy, smooth, much more easy drinking. More fuller flavour. You're getting a slight citrus sweetness. You're getting much more of a slight bready malt character mid palate. And there's a subtle kind of citrus bitterness and a hoppy bitterness at the back end. Plus that creamy mouthfeel, that smooth mouthfeel, that goes down lovely. Like I say, in comparison to the canned and the bottled versions, this stuff is on a whole nother level. A whole other level. And the worrying thing is there are worse lagers out there than this as well. So I mean, I'm drinking this bottled Heineken and it's not good. It's not good at all. I mean, compared to this stuff, it's just a whole other planet. It's playing a whole different sport. I think the canned is slightly better in that you're getting a bit of bitterness at the back end, but again, the mouthfeel, the flavour, it's minimal in comparison to this. And you're getting a creamy mouthfeel, you're getting a much more fuller flavour, a much more complete drinking experience. It's just a better quality of beer. All the same ABV as well. The bottles are 5. The cans are 5. Yep. But I say with the Torp for the Krups Sub, the actual Dutch version, you're just getting a much better beer, a much better Heineken. I mean, this stuff is superb. So in conclusion, the Torp smashes it all day long. If you've got one, or any of you were lucky enough to get one over the Christmas holidays, yeah, enjoy it. And if you've got the Heineken, I encourage you to try this. If you're a Heineken drinker, try the Torp and you'll see the difference. It's incredible. I hope you've enjoyed this. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my Heineken. Until my next one, you take care.